Hello and welcome. Welcome to this pretty amped up time of this equinox where all sorts of things are occurring and where some pretty big sensational information came through about where we are at. And it's really beautiful, the languaging that came through. So we're in our new astrological year now, and there's certainly merit in considering some of the aspects of your life and where you may want to go and what you may wish to create. And so there's a little bit about that, and then I've got some information about these nets that I've spoken to you about before, which have all of a sudden they've kind of changed, transformed and disappeared. Hello Beachweave, hello Billy. Yeah, and this other stuff which I can't really tell you in a sentence, but I really want to encourage you. So these are my notes from the last 2 days. Hello Melanie. Hello Margaret. So there's something to be said, I want to say, for you taking incredible good care of yourself, of being quiet, of being still, of being inner. There's a lot of not inner work to do, inner contemplation. It's this time to go deep about who you are in your new form. Hello, Dawn. So I want to encourage you to answer this question. What do you want to begin or to start anew, afresh? And what excites you right now? It doesn't matter what it is. What excites you? I want to say ride the wave of excitement, because we're in these huge energies. So what has that brought for you, to you, these incredible energies that have been streaming in through this plasma light? They're new, they're higher, they definitely are having an impact on the higher heart. They're definitely ascension energies for everyone, and everyone is getting them in, I guess, an appropriate dose, or in a measure that might be pushing them. So people who've not done their work, they'll be receiving them for sure, but people who've done their work will be receiving more of the benefits of it. Hello, Ahakdo girl. Yes, clearing intense physical and karmic clearance. Yes, perfect. That's exactly one of the things that's happening. Oh, that's beautiful, Amanda. Reiki sessions filled with lots of heartfelt energy. It's quite exquisite to attune to. If you have a divine masculine in or around you, then you could tune into that. Their hearts are in exquisiteness. So this energy that's been coming through, it's really dense, as in it's really compacted, it's really high, it's coming in, and they're definitely these ascension energies to help everyone. It's bringing in this shift in awareness, like across the planet, and it's changing us in the physical. So that's why we are feeling it very much in the physical. It's that whole notion that I spoke about a little while ago, which was, that sandwiching effect, that kind of merging effect, that, one thing coming down and one thing coming up, and this is the merge. You know, we talked about it coming to here so we could open up to be sort of tickled by these energies coming in, and now they are sort of coming through one another, affecting everybody for this kind of get charged up for the next. So we've had this definite up leveling, and we're getting more of it. I want to say to you, if you haven't, I really recommend you going and doing that guided journey that I put together on the 21st. It brings you through your own personal rebirth experience. And so this is what we're in the midst of, our own rebirth and the planetary rebirth. And then when you've done that, then it's time to find this inner balance and to find harmony with that. So those are sort of some key words that you are seeking at this time. So time to find inner balance and harmony, and to seek equilibrium in all facets of your life. So we've been doing lots of review, haven't we, over the past month, and so many of us have done a lot of that. And I wrote yesterday, I think it was, yes, these expanded days, I find anyway. So I wrote this yesterday morning. It feels like I wrote it a week ago. Not to do too much reflection, just to be having a pause day. That's how yesterday came in. Some mental downtime. Allow the physical body to make its own readjustments. And then this is from Soulful Insights, who said this about this time astrologically, that Pluto moves into Aquarius today, and that this holds the energy of the collective rebirth and working together. So we had the individual aspect of that yesterday, and now the collective aspect today. So we are being recalibrated, I am shown, to receive these higher fifth dimensional aspects of illuminated light into and through our higher dimensional chakras, and within the unified field of both planet and human, in the breath of oneness. This alignment and equilibrium coming into our electromagnetic pulsating energy fields, again, us and planet. Hello, Golden. So our solar, and this is, to me, this just feels so incredible and moving. Our solar crystalline light bodies hold us in the beautiful new and higher divine love as we remember to be present with each holy divine breath. We create what is and begin to know ourselves anew. We can, in fact, create ourselves anew in the limitless way of being that we may now find ourselves in. So we're moving into this total, expanded, infinite ways, these limitless, incredible ways of being, and the possibilities for creating in that space. This is a crossover, a blending of the dimensional bands and fields, as though also it shows up as though we may be either having the sensation of, or kind of actually doing this, as though we're floating above the ground, as though we're a bit taller. You know, I've spoken about that idea that we may have this sort of stretching between each vertebrae that will be taller in that mechanism. And it shows up like that visually to me, as though we look taller and we're floating above the ground at the moment. So this bigger, higher and more expanded version of ourselves, and by being in that present moment with the breath, totally, totally in that now moment creation about yourself, about your body, about your life, about your world. And this is how we change the world. And so over this equinox window, we have been receiving increasingly higher vibrational waves of energy as as though we are jumping up, several levels of the spiral or the rings or revolutions. We're not going around, we're just skipping up them. And then a pause day of a few days of integration. So it will be that, many of us will be in that kind of place now. So I wanted to speak also to this thing about the Skynet. So you may have heard me speak of in the past that when I open my eyes in the early dawn, that I have been seeing these hexagonal nets. So like a very fine net made up of hexagon shapes. And recently I've seen that change. So for example, let me just check the So I think on the 21st, I noticed that the hexagons had divided into clusters, like they reminded me of flowers. So the sky was filled with these flowers made up from the hexagon net. So there'd become some, and I did see that another time, I think, a slightly different, but this idea of it being like that. And then yesterday, it's totally changed. It was as though some big energetic swiped through it, stretched them out of that shape, and they looked like rays, and then spaces between the rays, and they were slightly diagonal. And in that diagonal, the hexagons weren't there. Those hexagons had been stretched, I want to say, into rectangles. And so made up of made up of bricks, if you like, but they were all different sizes. And so I was seeing those streaming through like these diagonal rays of blocks. And then honestly, I can't remember whether it was this morning or yesterday morning now, but anyway, now it's totally empty. It's gone. It's totally gone. The veil has gone, and a whole lot of new stuff came in today that I still need to unpack, but there was nothing there. There was nothing in the sky, no net. And so what I got about that was that the veil's gone. The veil is lifted. So we are going to be able to and enabled to see more, to see further, to see in a greater, higher, more expanded way. And also that I got told that this was for integration, and then that we're going through now this massive and rapid acceleration, up leveling into our new and higher crystalline bodies. So I want to share with you this conversation that I had this morning with a friend, and we were messaging back and forth about things, and then we were doing some voice recordings, and so she sent this voice message, and then I sent a voice message, and we'd been doing that already for half an hour or so, and there was something that made me say to her, I want to add those up. There's something about those two sets of numbers. And so I added them up. We were discussing time, and there was such a disparity between what was showing up on her time and what was showing up on my time, and there shouldn't have been. It was way off. Anyway, so I added up. So she was at 11:58 and I was at 1:12. So it should only be, there should be only an hour's difference between us. So then something made me add that up and use the base of 60, and then that came to 1320. And so it was just that it was like, this is what I was guided to do with it. And then she went and put it into Gematria, because I said about how there's something strange here. This is significant, and I don't yet know why. And so she was putting it into the Gematria while I was being shown about the triangulations and how it linked into the triangles and linked into the twin connections. And then when she put it into the Gematria, oh, am I going to remember it? It turned out that one of the word gematrias for that number 1320 was cosmic tower moment, or cosmic tower. So, and there were some other words that I can't remember. I was going to bring them up on the screen here and I didn't. But there were all these links to this time about renewal and collapse and destruction. So what I also got about these veils is that they are broken and fractured and destructured, and that all of this links into this thing about equalness, that we're coming into more equality, or equal rights and equal power. That is returning for the masculine and the feminine, as each returns to their own greatness, and there is this acknowledgement that the other holds qualities that are different and greater, enhanced. So there is more. So in these old times, where those differences were perhaps acknowledged, we're returning to that. So each is recognizing that the other has qualities that are their superpower. The masculine superpower is this ability to see the big picture of what has to occur in a pragmatic way, and then the ability to carry it out in a powerful strategic planning motion. Whereas the feminine has the ability to see things beyond the veil in all directions and to foresee the greater consequences. And I heard to create the impossible. So there's this higher level embodiment coming in today. The divine masculine is in their integration, and they are having to learn how to find a new way of being with themselves. There's all of this stuff about the emerald order, the emerald dragons and the emerald crystal, which I saw this morning in the sky, when I noticed that it was empty. I closed my eyes and I asked, well, what's here now? And I saw this totally black background, which is not what I usually see. And then coming out of it came this big rectangular emerald stone. And then following it was a dragon's head, an emerald coloured dragon's head. And then I heard the emerald order. So we are beginning to, I want to say, part of what's coming in at the moment, or beginning to come in now, is like this flushing of these emerald codes, these codes that link in back to the early creation codes, these codes that belong to the emerald order, or the emerald, what's it called? The emerald tablets. And it's all to do with these higher frequency creation codes, is to do with this emancipation, this emancipation from all of the grabbiness of the old, this all of what has been happening in terms of the evil in our world, that's the controlling mechanisms that have been placed in everywhere, has been like this incursion into our ability to receive the emerald codes. And like I say, I need to get more information yet, but they can't do that anymore. Those grips have gone, and we are now receiving these higher codes, these healing codes, these emerald codes, these, I want to call them, these flushing, purifying codes as well, that are going to bring us into a different flow, into greater abundance, into this more synchronized grouping, more triangulation in terms of our connections, especially for purpose, for passion. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So over this next little while, because so today was the first day that the sky was empty for me. The whole thing had disappeared. And so what I'm getting is that we're now incrementally, so everybody will be getting them to a greater or lesser extent, and that this is, that sandwiching effect. So everybody will be getting the merge of it. There's not much, if any, left to dissipate on the higher levels. We need to keep our focus at this higher dimensional level, in this higher dimensional space, because we're really in this in these manifestation energies. So what we focus on is what we will create in the moment, and it's about this practice of being in the present moment, deeply in present moment, not in the head, deeply in the heart, in the experience of the sensory body, and be in the practice of placing what you want right in front of you right now. Right now, this is happening. And yeah, to be mindful, gentle, encompassing of your own energy and light. So over the next, I'm not sure exactly when, but we're doing this leaping, really. We are leaping levels, and we are holding the space through our own beautiful hearts for others to receive, but your focus is you. And the more that each of us hold our light, hold that pristineness, keep our focus on what the desires are for the highest good of everyone, the more that impacts on those around us, where it's like we are being permeated by this light. It's like this is going to bring in greater triangulations. That's definitely showing up. I link to you, you link to them, they link, and then I might link over here and you might link over there as well. There's these crossover points. That is showing up as both for individuals and for divine counterparts. The masculine are definitely in this flow of this in their hearts, and feeling different, and and feeling very, I want to say, uh, seriously contemplating about what their role is. And it's like the other thing that's come through is this idea that we're very soon going to be at this point where everything is gone. All of the confusion, all of the, well, I'm here and it feels easier, that is going to be shifting the behavior of all of humanity as we're being guided and slided really into this recognition of who we are at a higher level and why we are here and what is our purpose. And so this is going to involve, more of the relocation of places, jobs, and people. And then we've got this movement that continues for that over this next little while, over the next couple of weeks, until we reach this. It shows up to me like a clear heavenly gateway, and that's what we're in preparation for now. So this up leveling, this up frequency, this ability to be in the flow of the now and in the creation, and then holding that, letting go of everything and everybody else around us. Okay, so now let me share what's come up here on the thread. So thank you, Beach. 1320 is the Mayan calendar count. Yes. Oh, look, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that story ended with the recognition that we are returning to original divine blueprint time and calendar. So thank you so much. Honestly, I get on here and there's all sorts of things that disappear out of my grasp. Thank you very much. Lauren's saying between now and around June, we'll get a taste of what's to come into our lives between this next 20-year period as Pluto goes retrograde back into Aquarius from around June into January of next year. But this age of Aquarius is about our own uniqueness, our own skills, our own abilities will create our new stability for the next 20 years. So we are not reliant on a company for stability anymore. Exactly. So this is this period of time that we're in now that's all about coming into our own energetic balance and our own energetic equilibrium. So we get really attuned to ourselves. We are in the rebirthing or have rebirthed and finding our way with who we are becoming. And so is everyone. But those who are conscious and awake are leading the way with this. Billy, I can't wait to be handed my envelope. I think I'm getting tastes of that, but I'm really not sure. So you just keep with that. You just keep saying, yes, it's getting clearer. I'm so pleased that there's greater clarity coming for me. And you look for what shows up, and that will give you guidance and clues. So what was exciting to me, what made me cry, was this idea that we're really in the becoming of this higher, heavenly, holy creation through the divine holy breath. There's also this this idea that the masculine are birthing themselves through their own empowerment through the solar plexus that I spoke of the other day, and we are rebirthing ourselves as we have through our heart. And now that this emerald flame, this emerald light, these ancient early creation flows of light are coming in for this reignition to the higher, and so we're being washed and swamped with them, and we're becoming who we wish to become. Our bodies are going to come into receiving this for greater health, for perfect health, for youthing, for our bodies coming into being light bodies that are super healthy as we move through this. Our whole world is going to shift and change with everything from the way in which things are governed to money to wellness to the way in which we all interrelate with one another. So, yeah, I hope that you find that as exciting as I did. And I wish you some really gentle integration time. And do feel, even to go back and do that meditation again, um, the the in the waters from the rivers of Babylon into the waters of Gaia. That's what it's called on the channel, and it was released only on the 21st. But yeah, look out for this green emerald light. It's likely to start to show up. It sits in those higher cosmic codes and lights. Remember, we got the pinky violet, lilac. We got that coming in as that cosmic divine love, and now this is bringing us into this sort of greater flow, abundance, and the ancient wisdom that's coming in to be reactivated. All right. So much love to you. Take very good care of yourself, and we'll see you again soon.